That's what I like to hear. Again, I'm Perry Nemiroff from Collider. I am so thrilled to highlight this wonderful show with all of you tonight, and also with the team behind Nobody Wants This. We have a lot to get to, so I'm going to introduce you to them all right now. Please join me in welcoming to the stage co-showrunner, writer, and executive producer Bruce Eric Kaplan. Congratulations. And now please welcome co-showrunner, writer, and executive producer Jenni Konner. Congrats, Jenni. Say hello to Jackie Tohn, who plays Esther. And now welcome to the stage Critics' Choice nominee, Timothy Simons, who plays Sasha. Now we've got Critics' Choice nominee Justine Lupe, who plays Morgan. Say hello to Critics' Choice Award winner and Emmy-nominated actor Adam Brody, who plays Noah. Thank you. Welcome to the stage Emmy-nominated actress and executive producer Kristen Bell, who plays Joanne. And finally, we have our creator, writer, and executive producer, Erin Foster. How are you doing?
Hi, this room is really big.
Buttoning it up.
Crazy.
I'm buttoning it up now. Kristen called me out on being unbuttoned.
We can't see, but I
Got that
assume it's
taken
full
care of
to the
early.
brim.
We're all
No, but
good
I was
now.
schooled because she said it's fashion, it's supposed to show the belt. And then I was like, shoot, I don't know anything. But then now she's buttoning it up, so I'm just confused because I'm trying to keep up with Erin.
I got a lot to talk about right now that you all know very, very well. Erin, you're going to get my very first question, and you're going to learn this about me quite quickly. I like big two-part questions. And can you tell us a little bit about finding the balance between giving fans more of what they already loved from season 1, but also finding new elements to explore of a relationship that would give season 2 its own unique definition?
Yes. I think that it's sort of like anything, you have to help people know what they want. You know, you have to push a little past what people think that they want. And so I think for season 2, it was really important for us in the writer's room to expand on the romance, but also tell a real story of romance. And that means that you're not always in the honeymoon stage. And that's okay, because falling in love is a type of love, but then staying in love is also a really meaningful kind of love. And it might not be as, exhilarating to watch. Maybe it is me. But I think that it is really deep and meaningful, and it was really important for us to tell that story. So
It is as exhilarating to watch.
oh, you're right, it is.
Maybe more.
But sometimes people, when they're watching a show, they want the perfect moments, and you have to also make it real so that you earn the big moments.
Oh, I'm hoping we have time to cover many wonderful big moments that highlight all of your great performances. But first, Jenni and Bruce, I want to jump to you when it comes to joining this show. And surprise, surprise, we got a big two-part question about that experience. What was something you were really excited to get to do when you first signed on to this show? But then also, can you tell me something about the experience of making it that wound up being more creatively fulfilling for you both than you ever could have imagined?
Okay. Well, it was very exciting to walk onto a show that was already a big hit with all of these incredibly talented people, and Erin created an amazing show and amazing characters, so I would say that was pretty good.
Yeah. I mean, just seeing this episode, it feels already like it was 100 years ago. So, so much has happened since then for us, like all creatively. But for me, it was like the show is so beautiful and funny and light and happy, most of the time. But what was a surprise is how deep the show is, I think, and how sort of rich the characters are. And that was, amazing and meaningful that all these people on the stage are willing to go so far and so deep with these characters.
Yeah, we really got to flesh people out second season, which was really, really fun.
I'll build on that idea with all three of you. I'll include you in this as well, because you have a large ensemble of wonderful characters that I've come to adore. But when it came to writing their season 2 arcs, were there any particular ones that surprised you? Ones that wound up being more powerful than even you realized they could have been?
I would say the Lynn character, right? I mean, it was really exciting and surprising where we were able to take her season 2. When I was in the process of converting, my mom kept saying, maybe I'll convert. And I was like, what? Mom, this is like my thing. And she kept sort of like threatening to. And so it's one of those things that you say in the writer's room, and then it ends up becoming like this whole story. My mom did not end up converting yet, although she does continue to say it. And so giving Lynn that fleshed out story was really unexpected. It wasn't planned, and it was really fun.
Love that one. Was there any others that the two of you wanted to shout out?
I mean, I think Justine's story was really fun and wild and surprising and emotional and like deeper emotionally than I would have seen coming. And it just wound up being like a really fun story to tell and a really fun story to watch her tell.
And also Esther being the one to tell.
Yeah, and these
definitely
two,
Esther and
obviously.
Sasha and Noah and Joanne. I mean, it honestly.
Noah and
sounds-
Joanne
He asked me to pick one, guys.
Sincerely, it's impossible to pick one. I knew it even
But
when I wrote the
Esther
question.
being like Joanne's enemy in the beginning and then being the person that helps her realize she already is Jewish in her bones was like a very beautiful come together moment.
Oh, you can bet we're going to come back to that scene eventually, because just like an A+ writing and also a phenomenal performance beat from you, Jackie, but not just yet.
What grade would you give it, though? You give the writing an A+. What
Did I
grade?
say A+? A+.
Okay, great.
A+, A+.
You said phenomenal, which I feel like
Okay.
is different than a letter grade. And so I'm just asking for a specific letter grade
Honestly,
for Jack.
some people think phenomenal is better than an A+. They think
Okay.
it's above it. So
Except for
One
people who
person.
get A+.
fair. That's
Do I dare tell you that my personal rating scale is actually cats? I rate things out of Deweys because my cat is Dewey, and I would give it 5 out of 5 Deweys. Oh, there we go.
Oh, dude.
Let's talk a little bit about the wonderful ensemble you've all built. I want to go back to season 1 because I really do think that you are probably one of the best casts on TV right now, and I think your chemistry together is just absolutely impeccable.
No, you don't need to clap.
Sincerely. Looking back on season 1, can you each recall the first moment that you looked around at your co-stars and thought to yourself, like, I am in the best company. This is going to have that special spark that a show like ours needs?
Day 1 for me. Oh, day 1, table read. I just was like, oh shit, these people are such killers. This is insane. I took a picture of my name on a card at a table read because I was like, look who my name is next to. That's sick. So that was when I noticed. Tim?
Mine was, it was, I think, pretty early on. It honestly might have been the
Sounds like
first.
mine was earlier than yours.
It was a little bit earlier. I feel like I'm going to have an A+ answer, though.
Oh, we'll see. We'll see.
I think day 1 in the bar, there was a moment, it was the 4 of us in the bar, and
Justine's skirt popped open.
and when Justine's skirt popped open and she fully collapsed, and it was very funny. But I remember thinking, I was like, oh, is this going to be really fun? I'm going to like put my finger in Noah's drink. Oh. And then a few takes later, as Adam was leaving, he put his finger in my drink, and I was like, oh, this motherfucker's
That's how you
on
know.
it. He is on it. And I really liked that. I really liked that. It was very early on in the process, but it just felt like there was a lot of trust and a willingness to play. That was
Drink each other's germs.
Yeah. I felt like for me it was the car scene of us all driving together in the meltdown where Morgan's text goes over the intercom and I remember when Tim made the joke about Mandy Patinkin sandwich. What was
No,
it?
I had a half sandwich for Mandy Patinkin.
Yeah. It was so funny.
Which was an improvised line from him. That was not
Yeah,
the script.
totally. It was so much fun. We had so much fun in that car, and I just remember feeling like, oh, like there's a live fun chemistry here, and I was enjoying it. Also, I should explain that like my skirt popped open because I was pregnant.
She was
Nobody just
secretly
explained that.
pregnant.
Everybody just said my skirt fell off. Nobody explained any further. I was pregnant and ate a lot. And it slowly collapsed over the night. They had to like cut the back. And every time I was off camera, I'd like open it up and unzip it, and nobody knew I was pregnant, so everyone just thought I was a fucking lunatic.
Except I knew because 5 minutes earlier, been like, I'm pregnant. Don't tell anyone.
Yeah. Anyway.
Adam, what you got for us?
I had fun with everyone from jump, but I didn't know until I saw, we did like a little break in between filming this 2 episodes, and then we like went dark for a minute for like, I don't know if Netflix continued to do it or whatever, but it was explained to me that this is the new thing they'll do. And like, it's picked up and you're gonna film everything, but we're gonna go film 2 and then go dark for the week and a half so we can just like assess and see if we need to tinker or whatever.
See if we still like it.
See if we still like them. And I was with Jackie, all 4 of us.
Yeah.
And we're in the editing room, and they showed us, I think just the first or 2, both of them. First 2, like rough cut, like that week, you know, because it was like 5 days after we filmed it, maybe less. And that we were like cheering in the.
He was cheering. Tim and I were having like psychotic meltdowns, being like, we're Muppets. We're actually Muppets.
We're
We shouldn't be
actually
acting.
horrible at this.
Like,
We acknowledged that everybody else in the show was incredibly good, and their chemistry with each other was incredible. And Justine and I were having panic attacks in the parking garage, being like, "I'm a fucking Muppet. I'm bad at this."
Me too. If you feel that way, then I definitely am.
I love that Adam and I
But Adam was like, great.
just watched it, high fived.
I remember
like,
that.
Let's fucking go.
Yeah.
Like I watched it and I loved it. We loved it
Yeah,
so
no, that's
much.
when I knew, I'm like, okay, this is special. This is
And
great.
I felt like I'd never seen anything like that was this tone on television, which I couldn't even put my finger on still really what that even 100% is. I was like, oh, this is so, I don't think anyone else is maybe doing this.
It's just Erin's tone.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah, it is
like,
Erin's tone.
created a tone that I think, plug your ears, will go down like almost historically, like when you're like, oh, it's like Wes Anderson, or oh, it's like Coen Brothers. Like there's a vibe that you created. Why aren't your fingers in your ears? There is though.
true. No,
There's a
it's
very
true. I just
because she
love
writes from her real life, and it's like very, very specific, and you can't put your finger on what it is, but you know that it's very specific, and I think people are going to reference it.
I can get behind.
I do. I do.
I can't tell from here.
Also, the moment that the music kicked in on their pre-kiss, where it's like doo 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 doo, I was like, oh my god, like their stuff was so hot. So
5 Deweys.
And it continues
Yeah.
to be in season 2. I'm going to pave the way there now with the ensemble first. So you all make a season of this show together. You are well aware of how talented you all are, but can you each name something you saw a co-star do on the season 2 set that made even you stop and go like, my God, I knew you were good, but I never realized you were going to be able to go there with that role?
I'll start. I mean, Justine created something, I don't know if it played in season 1 so much as it did in season 2, but where anytime I would so much as like brush up against her, she would be like, ow, ow. And it progressed into any time I touched her in a scene, it was like devastating for her physically. And that really got me, the commitment to that bit and how many different times in so many different scenes she did it.
some may call it relentless and annoying.
And I was like,
Overdone.
It's not going to play in every scene. And sure enough, it's in there numerous times because it works every single time. And I loved it.
You know, I love our parents on this so much, all the parents, and I love them all equally, but Paul Ben Victor, who plays my dad, has like the least amount of lines, but he's such an assassin. Yeah. And like, we'll just have a fairly simple line, and it kills me. And so I've just grown to like, I'm in love with it.
Me too.
Mine would be, it wasn't when I was on set, but when I saw the moment in 9 where where Joanne and Noah almost break up, and Joanne is kind of explaining to him how she's feeling, and she's on the verge of crying, but trying so hard not to cry. And it literally, like, I just know that feeling so well. And it's such a, I don't know, I can't recall another time where I saw an actor capture that feeling of, like, especially in a romantic relationship, like trying to like get through talking, but not cry, even though you so badly just want to cry. I just thought it was like an amazing moment and an amazing performance. And God, I know that feeling in breakups where you're just so trying to keep your pride intact, but you're like devastated. So,
I sincerely wrote that down as a question for you because I caught that in a couple of scenes where you're not necessarily having an emotional outburst, but you hear something that makes you upset. And I feel like there's the scene in the outdoor bar setting where like you could see you holding back. And I guess I'll just pose that question to you before we continue to go down the line. What do you find more challenging as an actor, having a bigger emotional outburst or being on the verge of tears for an extended scene?
Having a bigger emotional outburst or being on the verge of tears, I would say probably a bigger emotional outburst if I had to pick, because you will shoot that scene for 2.5 hours from many angles. And for me, a lot of my work is just chemical. It is emotional math. And I've got a lot of those chemicals running. I am on the verge of tears at all times. Whether or not you're seeing it, that's up to you. And mostly it's up to me because I'm either really happy or something has made me sad, but like I have a lot of emotions sitting there that I can access. I can also open my tear ducts. That's neither here nor there. But sustaining that amount of energy, if I were to have like a crazy fight or something, like the fight that we had when I was banging on the door and the bruise on my hand, it's harder for me to sustain because it just like requires a lot of gas in the tank, which is Red Bull. Like I need caffeine to continue to do it. Because for me, there's so much of this job that is actually just like, there's fuel and there's output. Like it is a machine and I can kind of access it. Yeah, but being on the verge of tears, that's never been a problem for me.
You do it very effectively. There's something so relatable about that feeling of looking at someone when they're just about to break. Because like we've all had that feeling and that feeling of trying to like push it back down.
It is a little scary, but I find that like you just unzip a little bit and you just try to feel as open as humanly possible, which does feel a little like raw in front of someone. But if it's your job, then I have to do it in front of the camera while looking at him and like push it all at Adam, and that's how we do it. And then Adam carries it.
Put it in a little box.
And he's really nice to me during those scenes too. So it's not a bad environment to open up in.
Well done in every respect. Tim, I cut you off there.
There's one that sticks out for me, and it feels like, it was like a long time ago. Like, there's one that sticks out for me that I've really enjoyed, which I wasn't on set for, but when the entire family has like shoved themselves into a sauna that is now used for storage. And then Justine comes out and hits the window and says, "Fuck you, bitch." I laughed for like 45 minutes.
That's awesome.
I don't know, there was something about it that, like, one thing that I like is that we don't shy away from swearing if it's necessary. Like, everybody speaks like an adult. And I just love that there was actual anger in that, but it was played in such a way that you could still find it funny. And I don't know, I really like that moment.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Just also in that same scene that was really fun for me and sort of a surprising, just new performance or energy to see from Noah was he got in that sauna and was so excited to reveal some gossip. And his face when we were like dying at Video Village because it was so surprising and kind of different. And the magical thing about working with people who are this talented truly is that it's like a dream that you get to put words on paper, and everyone exceeds your wildest expectations when you see it. It's an incredible thing to watch, but that was like one of those moments where I was like, this is the greatest thing, like the most surprising, hilarious moment. But they all do it all day long.
Jackie, you want to add
We
anything?
probably don't always
I was hoping
exceed
this question would
expectations.
end.
We probably don't always exceed expectations.
I could
99.
I could go down the line and have one for everybody, but the one that comes to mind is Tim. Again, I wasn't in this scene, but was this season 1 or season 2? My bad. Where you get high and Miriam comes home.
So good.
It's my favorite shit because it's such a different side of Sasha, and like I think he can be like the littlest bit of a pussy, and you know what I'm saying?
No, I do.
And like
I
in
do.
that moment with his daughter, he's like, "No, I got this. Like I got this, and I'm gonna talk to your boy, and I'm gonna talk to you, and I'm like gonna fix this." And it's so cute, and it's so daddy, and it's so different for Sasha, and I loved that.
And I appreciate that. I will say, just to let everybody know, it was not like a big reach for me as an actor to be like, oh, on gummies watching Mission Impossible and having to like parent while it's paused is like a 1-to-1 rip from my own life. So that it wasn't like I know, oh, yeah, how am I gonna find this? But no, I found it.
Okay. Bruce, you want to throw one in?
I mean, as Jenni said, it's like every day is like it. I mean, honestly, these guys are so unique and thoughtful and sort of look at these characters from a million different directions. And so I can't single out one.
I can add one more that I think we're all going to know because Video Village exploded is when Justine was proposed to. The level with which she fully freaked out was so unforeseen by the writers, by the other actors in the scene.
Right.
It was
You were
Yeah.
screaming.
Yeah.
Oh, we were just
Completely.
all like immediately taken out of the scene because of how extreme it was, and loved every second of it. Do you remember that?
I do. I knew she was going to do it.
I did not.
But in the best way.
You knew she was gonna do it.
Did a similar thing the other day. I know she's got back here. And it's, I can't say.
Oh, yeah.
And I love it. And her screaming in your face is a happy place for me.
I got some specifics to get to, but Erin, I'm not going to leave you out on this one. Is there any particular scene you want to shout out?
You know, I actually really always loved in season 1 the sister fight that you're talking about where you bruised your hand because the sibling dynamics are really specific and it's very hard. We've all watched shows or movies where you watch and you go like, these people have clearly never met before. And there's a shorthand that siblings have, and a sister fight, there's just nothing else like it. And so I didn't actually write that scene. One of our writers, Nikki, wrote it season 1, and I remember reading it going like, whoa, you really get this sister dynamic. And when I watched it, I was just so happy with how they tapped into that energy because they're not sisters, and you really feel the shorthand of like anger and protection of each other at the same time. It's really, really hard to pull off. And Adam and Tim, like the finger in the glass thing, like that is part of the sibling dynamic that's so important to me, that you don't have, dialogue that makes these two people feel like they're getting to know each other.
As someone with a sister, the sibling dynamics in your show is something that captured my heart from the second it started. Felt so authentic. All right, I have some specifics now. Justine, you're first on my list. It's because the specific scene I want to highlight is in episode 2, but I also wanted to ask you a broader question. So in addition to 2-part questions, I like pulling quotes that people said in previous interviews, and you said something that just really stuck with me. You said, as someone who's been a supporting character in TV shows before, I've never been given this amount of trust or real estate to play with. What did it mean to you to get that opportunity, and how are you able to exceed your expectations for your own work when that trust is placed in you?
What did it mean to me? It means the world to me. Speaking of like having emotions, like right at the brim of your eyes. Like I feel like I could cry, but I just, I'm not. I'm tearing. I'm not crying. Watering. I'm 36, and it's been like a very nice, slow road, and I've been really lucky to be working this whole time in smaller ways, and this is just, I think when you come to this role after this like road and at this point in my life, you don't take it for granted. Like it's a huge, huge gift. And I have I'm like indebted to them for writing such a beautiful part. And not only is it like there's a lot of real estate, but it's the most fun and it's all over the place. And she's colorful and she's like unbridled, and it's like, it's a dream. It's a dream. And as an actor who's like been the fly on the wall a lot and watched people a lot, and I'm so grateful that I had that path, because I got to watch some of the best actors in the game do incredible performances and learn from them. But I just feel like when I arrived at this moment, I definitely don't feel any level of taking it for granted. And in terms of living up to that expectation, there's been moments where like there's been anxiety and nerves and worry that I am, that I want to live up to what I've been given and take advantage of it. But it's been a lot of like relying on these guys and just like turning to them and turning to the writers and trusting my team. And it's been so much fun. And yeah, it's a really long-winded way of answering that question, but it's true.
It's a beautiful answer, and like, trust yourself too, because you have so far exceeded my expectations for this character in season 2. I could highlight so many scenes, but the specific one that I chose came from episode 2. It's the scene between Morgan and Bina in the bathroom. I think that's probably one of my favorite scenes of the entire season. The two of you just do everything in that scene. There's emotion, you give us laughs, you show us new aspects of both characters in that moment. So can you tell me a little bit about working with her as a scene partner in that moment and navigating everything you have to shoulder there?
Yeah, I mean, when I read that scene, I also was really moved by it, because it's two women who wear masks all the time to hide their vulnerability, taking off their masks with each other and like showing themselves to each other. And it was really unexpected, and I thought really just sweet, and it's small, but it's like a sweet little scene. So I was really excited to do it. And yeah, Tova's just, she's just awesome. She comes in and she knows what the fuck she wants to do, and she's generous about putting her choices out on the table. And so I just enjoyed kind of like the call and response of working with her and the things that she brought to the table. Like, she really knows what she wants to do. And so that was what the scene was like me kind of following Bina's lead and Tova's lead, and just like being there in that little moment with her. So I love that scene. When I read it, I was like, what a sweet scene.
It is. It caught me off guard a little, and I mean that as the highest compliment. Tim, I'm going to jump your way now. We're going to go to episode 9. It's that scene at the outdoor bar playing the game, because I believe that is the first scene in this series where we see Sasha lose his cool. So can you tell us a little bit about why that felt like the perfect moment for that to finally happen, and what it was like for you figuring out how he expresses himself when he's that mad?
I mean, I think that was, and again, a gift from the writers on that. I do feel a little bit of kinship with Sasha in that, like, I feel like, I think he spends a lot of time, like, trying not to get in trouble and trying to make sure that everything's okay, and putting other people's feelings in front of his own, or never speaking up if he does have problems, and then that can build up resentment. And I think there is overlap just in my general attitude. And like, you know what I mean? Like, I did feel an overlap there with myself. So it felt true in that way of like somebody who is like, guys, I feel like I'm always showing up for you. And I think if you like look at Sasha throughout the series, I do think he is somebody that shows up for the people in his life. But to hear them be like, you don't even know that I'm taking jujitsu classes? Like, this is actually physically and psychologically really important to me. And like, Adam thought it was a bit, and Jackie didn't even know it was happening anymore.
And I thought it was spam.
You thought it was spam? Like, I that felt really true to me. And then on top of that, then there's like the emotional thing of like, he feels like he's being rejected by the most important relationship in his life, after he has really tried to put it front and center. That all seemed to like line up. It didn't, at least to me, it didn't feel like it came out of nowhere. It was like something that had been building up, and then the relationship troubles with Esther and I were just the catalyst for it.
So great performance beat for you. And
Thank
also
you.
it's just incredible how much you're all able to accomplish writing-wise for so many characters in that one scene. So incredibly well done. Later on in episode 9, we get the breakup scene. So Adam and Kristen, I'm going to come to you on that. You get some great writing to work with in that scene, so that's a great place to start. But I know a lot of the times, you know, something takes on new life when you actually get on set and start working with the material. So what did you think it was going to feel like to shoot that scene together, and how does that compare to what it felt like on the day when you were in the thick of it?
We sort of have a couple, I mean, it's been a minute, forgive me, but
I was going to say, I just need a tiny bit of clarity. when
yeah,
we're talking
but
about.
there's the
Tell me physically
there's the
where
end
we
of
were.
the end of 9 you're talking about, where I think it's more of a like asterisk.
Were we in the building with no roof?
Not yet.
Nope.
That's
Nope.
next.
Nope. That's next.
So we say that we're gonna.
You're at your apartment.
We're not sure. We're not sure how this is gonna work, and then we don't
I'm
see
here.
each other
You're on your
until
couch.
the engagement party.
Got it. We're on our couch.
But I sort of feel like, to me, the bigger breakup is when I go up to her, even though it's a very short-lived, at the engagement party, and I say, let's just not do this. And then we say, okay, and then we change our minds. But
Right.
So I'm gonna incorporate your question into both those scenes.
I'll take either scene. They're both great scenes.
And your question was, how many Deweys?
No, no. 5 out of 5 Deweys. We definitely have that covered. What did you think it would feel like to film something like
Yes,
that? And how does that compare to how it actually felt on the day?
I mean, for me, the emotional stuff is like, I don't have as ready access to it. And so it's a real question mark of when I'm going to feel something. You know what I mean? I don't know what take. But it's perversely really nice when it shows up. And I'm like, oh, that hurts so good. You know? And so like somewhere in there, you know, you find your note, and in the middle of a take or 3, or, you know, and it's like, you know, it's like sort of uncomfortable, but you're trying to do it, so you're happy you're doing it. And then I don't know, and then it feels real, and then you're like, wow, this is taking on a life. It is taking on a life of its own, especially when you're putting you're finding real emotion coming out, you know.
I guess I remember, I have such a bad memory, but I think I remember that we were really trying to chart very specifically, post being at the house, going to the party, how many times we interacted, and who kind of had the power in each of those dynamics of like when we were like playing it up for the parents, or when we were videotaping Sasha, and like sort of who had the upper hand to be like, I don't want to talk to you, or maybe we shouldn't be doing this. I just remember us discussing that a lot, and then trying to have it be a real back and forth. So it wasn't like they were both rejecting each other. It wasn't like they were both trying to come back together, but it was like one moment was him trying to come, you see 10% of Noah's character open, and then Justine or Joanne? Kristen.
Joanne.
Pick any.
Noah. Kristen.
The acting robot is glitching.
Joanne. I'm so sleepy, that's why. Joanne rejects him, and then, you know, the 3 minutes later when you check back in, I remember trying to be very conscious of reversing that, because I always really like it when the power dynamic shifts in the scene. I think those are the most interesting. Someone starts out with the power, and by the end of the scene, even if it's only 3 lines, it is shifted to the other person. That, I think, is what internally moves the audience along with you. And I remember being very conscious of that, even in those like tiny little bites we had during the party.
Also, those last couple episodes were really in flux, and so.
How dare you?
And so there was a lot of discussion, you know, for those last couple weeks about like, what are we?
Yeah, we were sort of writing and shooting at the same time.
But it was a real rally from the team to be like, you know what? But we're gonna make it work.
Yeah.
We're gonna make it work. We're gonna figure it out no matter what. And it was hard, but I felt very safe.
Yeah.
I might have a couple of questions about certain things being in flux and how you end up cracking particular story beats and scenes. Actually, this kind of leans into that, because I think this happened here as well. Jackie, I'm going to throw this question to you first, though, because
Ready?
That conversation between Esther and Joanne in episode 10 was really something special, and never in my wildest dreams did I think your character was going to be the turning point for her. It's such a special moment. So I guess, what did it mean to you to find out that Esther was going to have that effect on her, of all people?
I don't readily cry as much as my female co-stars. And I fully cried. And I called my mom and she cried. And I read her the scene and then we both cried. Because we're just Jewy Jews. And my mom was like, I cannot believe you are gonna get to say that on television. But they have done you so right. This is such a gift. And that sounds like a joke right now, but at the time it made me cry. Because I was like, this is so, I was relating. I have gum on the roof of my mouth, so I don't look like a trash bag chewing it, but now it's impeding my speech, and I apologize to all of you. Thanks, Josh. I'm gonna spit it in your thing.
My gum's also in.
Okay,
While
that's
she's
fine.
doing that, can I just say,
I
Jack?
finally got a fucking question, Tim. Now you have a thing. Oh, okay, my bad. Thanks, Tim.
I was going to cover
No,
for
my
you
bad.
with the gum.
Thanks, Tim. What were you
She
gonna say?
cries when she sees a cute dog in the van going to set.
Yeah,
What is she talking about? I don't cry that much.
I know.
You guys, dogs are cute as shit. Did you ever even see one? Those are so cute. Anyways, all right, fine. We all cry constantly. Anyway, all of that to say, I was really, I was so moved by it and am still so moved by it. Also, the response that I got from, everybody, but so many cool Jewish women of our similar age messaging me or DMing me, or if I meet them in person, just how profound that scene was for them and how much it hit home. And the fact that KB and I have known each other for as long as we have, and then the coolest thing probably I've ever gotten to do, speaking to what Just was saying, I've had these cool opportunities to be a clown a bunch of different times, and this show has given me the opportunity to really sink my teeth in and be more grounded. And so scenes like that are just invaluable to me. And then to get to do them with KB is ridiculous. And also when we first became friends, I mean, how much would I be like, that's Jewy? She would do something and I'd be very Jewish. And she's like, I grew up in Hanukkah Hills or something.
It was called Huntington Woods, but I was the only Gentile, so we called it Hanukkah Woods.
So everybody called it Hanukkah Woods. And I would just be like, that's so funny. For such a shiksa, you're acting like my mother right now. And she'd be like, I know. I've always felt I've understood Jewish people. And I'm like, I'm telling you, you're a little bit of a Jew. And then to be able to do that on television, it's just fabulous. Hanukkah Hills.
Hanukkah Hills is amazing. Kristen Bell just got canceled. It's crazy.
Wait, that's bad? Oh, I thought it was great.
By the way, I didn't call it that. Everybody called it that.
I support it, and I'm also ready to step in if you do lose your job.
Thank you.
I will just emphasize a beautifully written scene, and you brought it to screen to great effect. Very well. It had the effect on me that you just referenced, so thank you and very well done.
Thanks.
I don't want to leave that scene yet. Bruce, Jenni, or Erin, whoever wants to jump in on this can, but I did hear that particular scene went through a little bit of an evolution, and originally it wasn't as sweet as it is in the finished show. Can you tell us a little bit about where it started and when you realized that moment deserved that kind of pivot into that sweet quality?
I told you that.
What do you say?
I'm just kidding.
I couldn't hear what you said.
She said, who told you that?
Oh. Well, really what actually happened is, it was twofold, is that we shot the scene originally in the daytime because of the timing of the shooting schedule that day. And when we watched it, we just felt like it was missing its emotional depth that we wanted it to have. So then it was the only scene we reshot a month later. And Jenni directed it for her husband, who was the director and couldn't be there.
I didn't know any of this.
And it was in a totally different location because we were done shooting. It was a month later. And it was in we found another random bathroom in a different building at a different time and got these girls in their outfits and pretended like it was the bathroom at that location. And because we were reshooting it, we had a chance to relook at the material again. And obviously we understood that what she says in that moment would be scrutinized or held up on a pedestal because you're describing what it's like to tell someone that they're already Jewish. And, being Jewish is like pretty complicated right now. So we knew there'd be a lot of opinions about it. And I went through the process of becoming Jewish. Obviously, that's what this is based on. And I had a lot of Jewish friends growing up. And then when I met my husband and I thought about like actually converting, and I would say to my friends, like, oh my God, am I going to convert to become Jewish? And they'd be like, bitch, you're already Jewish. Like, what do you mean? Like, you're cozy and you always want to be with your family and you complain about them all the time. And like, you want to stay home and cook. And like, you fight with your sisters and then you want to be together and like show up at their house the next second. And it's like this community, it's like being Italian. It's like family first and like say everything and be direct. And it's not this religious thing. It's much more of like a feeling. And that is the thing that helped me feel comfortable being Jewish, is that I didn't really have to do anything differently. I was already there. And so some people, didn't feel like it had the weight of like the religious history behind it, but that's not what makes a lot of people want to convert. It's like
Esther breaking out a Talmud in the middle of this.
Yeah.
Like nobody needs that. Like a Torah.
Exactly. I think that Joanne was overcomplicating it. And that's what we all do in our lives, is we like wonder what something's supposed to feel like. And it's like, it's there. And so we, in the writer's room, talked about who should be the one to enlighten Joanne. And it really did feel right for it to be Esther, When I met my husband, my sister-in-law, I was excited. I thought she really liked me. She hated me. And I was like really confused by it, because I was like, I swore I thought you were gonna be happy that I came into the picture. And then I really wore her down. And in the end, when I was giving birth to my daughter at home, like a psychopath, the only person I wanted there was my sister-in-law, Masha, not even my actual sisters, because we had formed this really tight bond. And so I always had talked about how cool it would be to see these two people like somehow find a friendship. And it really worked out.
What a beautiful story. I love how it paves the way to the scene that we got. Do the two of you want to add anything to that particular scene? Or I was also thinking about maybe opening it up to all of the season 2 scenes. If you could maybe walk us through anyone that changed drastically from original idea to finished show.
God, there's so many.
I know. Like, everything.
Yeah, I mean.
No, that was the reshoot we did, so that was a big deal. That is tough. Erin, you got anything?
What was the question? I'm like still.
What
like,
other
If there's any others.
exception to, I don't know.
Do you guys, can you think of
what
something?
scenes changed?
I mean, a lot of the finale changed. We knew where we wanted to land, but a lot of that changed a lot, right?
I mean, the finale really was
Yeah.
changed. We had to rewrite it.
Yeah, it was the finale was a real journey.
And
The end
it's
of Nine.
really hard to have, another rom-com ending after the first really good rom-com ending. So we struggled a lot with it, and, where they were going to be and how they were going to talk to each other, and, having them, how were we separating them then and bringing them back together? It is a rom-com. So there were a million conversations, I would say, about that.
Yeah, and we kept thinking like we got it, and then Netflix would call and be like, "You don't got it. You're like really, really far off."
Yeah. I mean, they were right. It really turned out great.
Yeah.
Valentine's Day was a lot of. We really like explored Noah and Joanne on Valentine's Day from like every direction on that one. So that was
a tough one. And that was tough too, because that's the first time you see Noah being like imperfect. And for me, I would say that coming off of season 1, having Noah on this pedestal, like my own husband was like, yo, you gotta like chill on Noah being on such a pedestal, because people are gonna like come for me at some point and realize I'm like a human being. Like, this is too much pressure. And I was like, honestly, you're not wrong. Like, you have to portray this person as a human being. He can't always be like a character. And so we definitely felt like it was important to let him, just because someone is your perfect partner doesn't mean that they've been perfect to everyone in the past. And just because they've been imperfect to everyone in the past doesn't mean they're a bad guy. If it's not a fit, it brings out the worst in each other, in both of you. So that was fun for us to explore, and I think something that, everyone was a little nervous about.
Pulled it off quite well. Now I'm gonna highlight how you're gonna maybe dig into some of these themes and ideas going forward, because we know you're working on season 3. I'm a Grady fan. I have a feeling everybody in this room is a Grady fan. We want to know a little bit about what's to come, so I'll lean on an idea that I brought up earlier in the panel, the idea that one of the coolest things about a continuing series is that you get to continue the storylines that we know and love, but you get to give each season its own unique definition. So can the three of you maybe tease how you would define season 3 compared to 1 and 2?
Should we tell them Bruce's magic word that we said every day in the room?
Sure, you go.
Me too.
We were thinking about season 3, and I came in one day and I realized, I said, like, it's champagne. This season is champagne.
Well, first of all, let's explain how Bruce does this. Bruce is a...
He's an alcoholic.
Alcoholic. Yeah.
Thank you for being the one to say it.
Season 1 was vodka. He wasn't there. Season 1 was orange juice. He wasn't there.
Bruce is a very successful New Yorker cartoonist. And so he will do this thing where he'll say, I had an idea. And he'll come into the room and he'll start drawing something on the board, and we all have to start guessing what it is. And we'll see like a form of a person, or we're like, is that so-and-so? Nope. Is that so-and-so? And like, it's usually like something that you would have never in a million years guessed. Yeah. And this time he's drawing something at the end. Someone's like, is that a champagne glass? He said, yes, this is the season of champagne.
All right, now I'll tell the real version of the story. I drew the worst champagne glass. It looked like a wine glass.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. He's not that great of a cartoonist.
No, but honestly, we really, in season 2, as you guys all saw, we really got into it with Noah and Joanne, and sort of like the sort of struggles of like, okay, now they're together, and what are the struggles between the two of them? And then when we were thinking about season 3, we were like, now it's champagne.
Yeah.
Like now it's like, they made it through that period, and now it's just sort of like.
And now that's what we say in the writer's room. Like when we're pitching out a story and then one of us will just go, that doesn't sound like champagne.
It's like our bar.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it and then come back and revisit this conversation and be like, I felt champagne.
Yeah.
It worked. One thing we are able to talk about with some specificity right now, because it was announced today, is this epic list of guest stars you have for the new season. Erin, I will give you a very specific question and also open it up to the group. Can you tell us a little bit about crafting a character that felt like the perfect fit for you and for anybody else on the panel? I don't know how far you are into making the show, but is there anything you've seen one of these guest stars do that made you stop and go, like, I knew you were going to be real great on our show, but like that was above and beyond?
Well, I would say I'm probably most excited about myself. I exceeded my own expectations.
I have a question about it. What point did you know, or did you become interested in doing it? Like, before, as you were coming up with it, or was it like more down the line?
Well, in season 1, people started asking me if I was gonna be in the show, and I was like, I just don't see a way. There's nothing made sense, and I didn't want to force it, and nobody was like, really, in the room asking. So it was more like people on the internet, really wanted it. But nothing felt right, and it's a very hard job to do. We're all very busy, so it wasn't like I had all this free time to do it. And then in the writer's room, we created this character of Nicole, totally independent of me. And I think in the room, you start to like do impersonations of who the person, is gonna be like. And she's a little unhinged, and she's like a super fan of Joanne's. And it just started to lock in. And I think Jenni was like, you should play.
Yeah.
Jenni was like, you should play Joanne. And I'm like, I thought you'd never ask.
Nicole. And she.
Yeah.
Oh, you should play Nicole. I did it. Oh my God. Maybe play Joanne. Wait, you guys, should I play Joanne?
I was thinking about it could be easier.
I meant Nicole, I swear.
There is some sort of really fun bonus episode idea in that.
Yeah.
How about for anybody else? Can anyone shout out someone we're going to see in season 3 that will maybe exceed our expectations of them?
They're all announced.
I don't think I didn't know we were allowed to say anything, so
it all got announced. All our guests.
But then what they're doing and
they're all out.
Every single one.
They're all in there.
Yes, Sarah.
I know, but I don't know. Did you say who Sarah's playing?
I don't think Sarah Silverman.
I think they
Do we know what they play?
That's what I'm saying.
Do we know what they play?
Yes. I mean, I have the list.
Within reason.
Public.
Yep.
I think I have one that doesn't give anything away.
Yeah.
That I'd met Andrew Rannells a few times before. I had recently rewatched Girls, which is an incredible show, and was reminded of how good he was in that. And there was a scene where Andrew Rannells is at a party, and Andrew is incredibly funny, and he walks in the door, and we're introduced. And he does this thing where he starts looking me up and down, and it's clear that he was like, oh, he's gonna try to fuck Sasha. And Andrew told me later that he went up to Video Village to Bruce and Jenni and was like, hey, did you see on that one that I like kind of threw in that I'm gonna try to fuck Sasha? And Bruce just went, did we see it? You can see it from fucking space.
Literally every improv he did, he was talking about how hot you were.
Really?
Literally, he'd be like, who's that guy? Tell me more about him. Tell me more.
I heard I wasn't he said something about Joanne got an oyster truck for everyone. That was really fun.
His improv is crazy.
His improv is out of control.
Yeah.
Yes, he's so good.
And sweet.
Yeah.
I got to have a more on the emotional side scene with Sarah Silverman. It was great to act with her, you know. Not that that's acting or whatever, but you know. And she's lovely and a really good act. I mean, obviously she's like a super comedian, but she's a very good actor.
Yeah.
So, and I knew that, but still.
She's something else. I can't wait to see her in this. Does anybody else want to shout someone out before we start to wind down the panel? Does anyone dare? I don't want you to spoil anything. Yeah. No?
Well, we're only halfway through, so we have
Okay.
a little less.
Yeah, a little more
through.
to
So we
go.
have people we haven't worked with yet. Yeah.
I'll leave it there. I won't push too far, but again, greedy fan, I want to know more. I have to wind down with you all, and I wasn't going to ask this question, but I keep thinking about it based on some of your answers during the panel. And Erin, I'm gonna throw it to you. I end a lot of my Collider Ladies Night interviews with this particular question, and it feels really important to ask you right now, just because your show has made such a big impression on a lot of people, and so many people I think can see themselves in your show in a variety of ways. So I often say that in film and television we give each other awards, and that's really great. But I find that people don't stop to tell themselves "good job" nearly enough. So can you tell us something that you've been able to accomplish with this show and the team you built that you're always going to be able to look back on and say, you know what, I'm so proud of what I and we did there?
Yeah, I would say really romanticizing a healthy relationship with a mature adult man who wants to be with a real true partner. And, I think it's just really hard to find the person you say you want to find and then appreciating them. And this show really shows two people who really appreciate each other. And I think we do have a little bit of a responsibility knowing that, young people are watching our shows, asking themselves, what does a relationship look like? What does marriage look like? What does a fight between two people look like? And I do think that we're setting a good example of what that could be.
I love that answer.
And you're setting a good example. I mean, just the general thing, two people who are in seemingly very different circumstances finding connection past the barriers, which we all know is very prevalent all the time. It's such a good representation of humanity being the thing that bonds people past the perceived distance that we have between us. So
Yeah, that's a good point.
Sincerely, wholeheartedly agree. You get 5 out of 5 Deweys for this panel and for your show. I'm going to say huge congratulations on this. Thank you all for joining us. Nobody Wants This is available to stream on Netflix. Thank you all so much. Congratulations.